becoming a professional snowboarder. I mean, we could do 360s, 540s, some backflips, and you got sponsored. I mean, it really was. There was nobody doing anything like that. You know, it's what you love doing more than anything in the world. Chasing the dream, I guess. My name's Matt Seifert. I'm 40 years old. I was a professional snowboarder in my early 20s. I started skiing when I was 13, and one of my friends had a snowboard he bought, and I thought, wow, that thing's dorky. I mean, they didn't have any poles to push around with. It was just seemed silly to me. I watched him snowboarding, and he was doing a lot of the tricks I did skateboarding. So the next season I tried to snowboard, and that was it, one and done. I fell in love with it. Well, after I got sponsored locally and started riding a lot of competitions here, I moved out west to kind of pursue the dream of becoming a professional snowboarder. Rode competitions there, started winning those, met a bunch of people in the industry, chasing the dream, I guess, riding competitions. I think I was the first person to ever flip onto a rail, so I could take that. It's actually how I got my first sponsor. I backflipped onto a rail in a competition. Photo shoots were a crazy thing for sure, backcountry especially, but one of the funnest photo shoots I was ever on was some of like the top 20 photographers in the world all come to a resort, and Trans World Snowboard magazine put on a thing called Team Challenge. It was kind of a competition, riding competition and a costume competition. So it was really fun. Every snowboard company in the world would send their top 6 riders, and we would all compete against each other, and we'd all have to be wearing costumes for it. We were ninjas one year, we were Ghostbusters one year, and we actually won best costume for the Ghostbusters. So that was fun. We had, one guy was dressed up as a ghost, and then we all had pretty nice suits and backpacks with hoses on them, and super soakers. We had painted them all black, and we had green dyed water in all the super soakers, so it was pretty fun. Yeah, that was, I don't know, I think that was probably my funnest photo shoot. X Games was kind of fell in my lap. I wasn't trying for the X Games or anything. I had ridden so many competitions. I had never rode in X Games, but ridden a lot of other competitions. And it just happened to be there for Team Challenge. And the Aspen Open was the next week, so I rode the Aspen Open, and I placed in that, was in second place, so then that qualified me for X Games. Placed 5th in that, and that was fun. And snowboarding was in the Olympics. I think my second year being pro, but it was half pipe only. So that I didn't ride half pipe, I rode slope style. There was nowhere to practice half pipe in the Midwest, so we definitely didn't do any of that. Deciding to quit being a pro, to retire from being a professional snowboarder, that was a tough decision. I grew up in an era where nobody wore helmets, so when we first started to have to wear helmets in competitions, things got ugly. None of us were used to having that extra couple pounds, and the helmets were heavier then, so having that extra weight on your head, really, a lot of us got really hurt. I was fortunate enough not to have any like career-ending knee or ankle issues. I did have a bad ankle injury. I broke my back. I don't know, I broke a lot of stuff. Fingers, arms, collarbones. But I didn't have any bad knee injuries or leg injuries, really, just that one ankle injury. So it could have been worse. I had a lot of friends get really hurt. To retire from being a professional snowboarder, that was a tough decision. I was thinking about getting married at the time, and I was struggling with some of the people I was riding with. Not my favorite people, didn't enjoy traveling with them or riding with them. So that really bummed me out. I still enjoyed the travel, but I was getting along, being away from home, and it really became a job. So, and I had starting to have a few issues with some of the size of the jumps I had to be at, be here, be there. Get on this plane, you got some giant jump you got to hit, 200-foot jump, and there's no run in, so you got to get pulled in with the snowmobile at 80 miles an hour, and you have no choice, so do it. And the first guy that goes comes up short and blows both his knees, and then they're like, okay, you're next, and it wasn't, I was starting to get a little bit nervous too, so there was a little fear factor coming in, which I'd never had before. All of that combined really made me just think, I think I'm done. I still miss a lot of my old friends, reps. I see footage on Facebook or Instagram of them doing stuff now, goofing off at parks. So we meet up every now and then and ride together. Day after Christmas, we do an old dude steak Trohagen little thing. It's fun. A bunch of the reps come, they give away a bunch of stuff. I have two boys, Gus and Oliver. They're 11 and 8. If they did become pro, I would be nervous. Especially nowadays, some of the tricks you're doing. And then they'd have to start training in the summer probably to really push it. But I'm not going to push it. I'm not really one of those guys. If they decide to do it, I can help them, I guess. I think it affected me in an awesome way, just because I got to see so much stuff. That was pretty high level competition, so it really made you know what makes you nervous, you know which doesn't, but it really challenged you to put everything you had on the field, like everything you had to go all the way, or you weren't even going to get close to winning. But yeah, I wouldn't take any of the being a pro back. I experienced a lot of people, or experienced a lot of things and met a lot of cool people.